Hello and Happy New Year to every single one of you. Now, quick question. Did you get drunk? Is your boss currently yelling at you and screaming because you were late for work? And does your breath taste like a burnt hot dog? Don't worry, I am here to entertain you. And while you're sitting there in the corner, crying like a little bitch, or if you are still there drinking like an absolute legend, how about you go out and you hit that subscribe button with your nose? I bet it's impossible while you're drunk. Anyway, so while I've still got you here, I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. There is an announcement at the end of this episode. Look forward to that. It's going to be a change up of the series in general. But apart from that, Happy New Year's and enjoy the rest of the video. So we are starting off again with another blood moon, so I have to then go through the same procedure. I make my way back down the stairs and I check on all our residential zombies that are living on my land, which I will be changing in the near future. I decide to laugh them off and actually go upstairs and have a look at the other components you can make. I've been trying to keep this vanilla for as long as possible, but I think I am going to start switching it up. These are all the things that I need to start looking into. I'm a complete noob when it comes to this sort of stuff. I do like things vanilla, but I do change it up. I am thinking about it anyway. This electrified iron fence is an absolute waste. I did craft this at some point, didn't do anything, and that is just something you'll have to see later on down the line. Decided to jump off and do a little bit of mining. Now I'd want to try and get the mining out the way as much as I can in the beginning days of this series, purely because of the fact that when the zombies get tougher and harder and stronger and faster, and they even become sneaky at one point, I don't want to then be snuck up on and then die on day 60, 70, 80 or whatever it is. I decided to then go right this time because I've done too much of the left. I've just went right. Sped this up because you don't really need to see me mining too much. I mean, I don't really want to put 20 minutes of me mining and what ores I find. I did find this cave though, which made me a little bit too safe. I didn't want to, again, die so early, especially when it comes to caves like this, because they do just sneak out of nowhere. So, like a protective father, I shielded the cave. Didn't want anything to do with that. Not my cup of tea. And put a torch and carried on mining. I've been putting blocks behind me because I don't want zombies creeping up. If you saw any of my live streams or any of my other videos, you'll see that they do occasionally spawn in the cave. I then carried on mining. I'm aiming for the iron and diamonds and some redstone at this point. I want to make a massive collection on it. I didn't want to be caught short on anything, so this is pretty much a sped up version of my mining session. I believe I did live stream this part on TikTok. I did do a live stream on YouTube as well. Made my way back to my base. I did have to break in because I didn't think of the process of when I leave I do have to come back, considering I've taken down that water structure. Made myself go back up to the top, which I really didn't want to do. I did think about going back mining. Look at this. I made a thermometer. Made it, never touched it again. It didn't work. It didn't go on top of anything. It didn't go on a wall. There was nothing. So I ended up just putting that back in the chest and, well, never touching it again. I mean, it's still there in this chest. It might have moved around, but it is still there. I did try and make that reinforced glass. I didn't know if there was another way you can do it without having to do the actual reinforcing rod. But this is one of my new defense mechanisms. I want to do a ring around my base and put water going the whole way round. But as I got round the corner, as you can see, blood moon's rising. You can't do anything, especially with skeletons out there. I did get paranoid because I didn't get a chance to put torches out on the platform, so I just put some barbed wire fences. So if anything did spawn them, they wouldn't turn up. I then spent the night, majority of the night anyway, cutting down wood because you can never have too much. I also made some redstone components. There you go, redstone repeater. I want to activate the water in certain sections so I can get in and out and not have to keep going through the water because it will be blocked off at one point. Finished off doing the ring going around the base, which was definitely not as fun. That pretty much took a whole day just to do one lap going round. It just wasn't fun, but I knew I do have to change the blocks at some point, but there is snow, so I want to, in the long run of this, I want to have a castle to pretty much turn this whole thing into a massive castle, have that as my watchtower, and so I can do whatever I want up there. I can modify it, change it. But as soon as I got to near the end of the actual one ring round, 'cause it needs to be two, so I can put water down each side. But pretty much as I got to it, I did look at it, think that might have been a bit wrong, but as always, torch it up so zombies don't spawn in it. I don't want that to surprise all those skeletons. Made my way back to the house because the sun was setting. I did have a ritual where if you eat a carrot in front of the sun, it will not cause a blood moon. Of course, you got to put your shield up, but that didn't fucking work whatsoever. So pretty much spent the night hibernating, put some barbed wire out front because wanted to make sure nothing was going to actually spawn there. And pretty much just started mining trees, just growing and mining, done it all night. This is where I noticed about the water. See, they come up to a certain point and then that's it, they're gone down. And their body parts float back up. That is effectively what I want to be doing, to stop them from coming near the base, because as you can see on the floor, I want to turn this whole thing into a massive building. I also made the diamond version of the greatsword. Does 12 hearts of damage and is perfect, especially if you can get it enchanted. So I went and got this thing enchanted, but did I put sharpness on it? No. I put unbreaking. There was sharpness at the top, chose not to. I have no idea why, and it weren't until I'm looking back at the footage now I even noticed it said sharpness, which I should have just taken it. I did want to start making a XP farm with the enchantment table there. Now I can focus on XP, so I ended up digging a little tunnel underneath past the barbed wire so zombies can actually start falling into the hole. I do improve it later on down the line. This is pretty much just going to be my source of entertainment when it comes to blood moons and my source of XP. So I want this place to actually be somewhere I feel safe. So I do make it, like I said, a lot better and a lot more aesthetically pleasing to the human eye. One of the mobs dropped these seeds. I believe they were called flax seeds. I have, at this point, no idea what the hell they even do. I'd even debated whether to even keep it or just put it in the chest. I ended up just planting it and hoping for the best that something will happen. This is actually where I start improving where they can actually see me while I'm in the tunnel. I'm hoping they can see me through the glass, but I did end up glassing the top of it out and even put a chest and a hopper there to catch as many drops as possible. This is going to be, at the moment, with no string, this is going to be the only way that I'll be able to get a bow and then slowly enchant it up to however strong I want it. I do end up getting a bow and getting it quite strong, but I then put a hop up there to make sure I don't have to craft arrows or a bow whatsoever. This is actually where I started making it a little bit nicer. It's still got the dirt walls to this day, and I'm on day 55 as of recording this. But now I'm thinking about it, I will change it up. I will get rid of the dirt around the sides and make it look pretty. As always, another blood moon's rising, just as I was trying to do my normal day-to-day stuff. Took the water because I didn't want them climbing up, just in case one of them is sneaky enough to get up. Went back down into my little XP farm, and also decided to stay there for the rest of the night and do XP. I ended up making that note block, which obviously zombies are attracted to the sound. I did forget the basics of it though. I put it on a solid block, which gives it a deeper note, so I do end up down the line just putting it on top of dirt to give it the high pitch note itself. I sort of mess around the keyboard here, didn't actually pay any attention to what I was doing. I was just hoping the zombies were coming to the noise. I mean, look at this. I spent way too long messing around with this note block. I don't even know why I was doing this keyboard sort of animation on it. It's, you just hit the block, but it did summon a load of skeletons, so I can't really moan too much at that, and I believe this is actually where I get my first bow when I do this first swipe. But it is at this point just a skeleton spawner, nothing really, no zombies really came to it, so I do have to change it up down the line. I spent a majority of the night here killing skeletons, killing zombies, because I needed to know what I would roughly get in a night, how many arrows, rotten flesh, if I was to ever somehow sell that, or if I need to eat it in a pinch. But I spent the whole night there, and that is pretty much what I did for the rest of that day. Now, if you made it to the end of the video and you want to know what the announcement is I am steering away from vanilla for the rest of the series. I've seen too much of the good stuff, so the redstone components, the reinforced, the cameras, the monitors, the TVs. I've seen all that, and I will be changing to that way to make it more entertaining for everyone. So you'll see an idiot mess around with things that he has no idea what they actually do. So if you do enjoy this series, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles.